Hello guys, it's Ivan here checking in. First things first, hope you guys are well. Second, today's concept is not letting people tell you who you are or what you can and can't do. Now I know this is a concept that most people have heard of, but sadly enough most people don't act on or choose not to use to their advantage. I don't know why. But anyway, let's get into it. Now in this video I'm going to hint on a topic that I want to talk about in a future video, because I think it's a broad topic and it's got a few too many concepts that need to be talked about or elaborated more on, and the concept is basically knowing who you are as a person. Otherwise, let's get into it. Now, first things first, the common ways in which the whole concept of letting people tell you who you are or otherwise comes in when, for example, teachers tell students they can't do certain subjects, which is sad because teachers are obviously supposed to be the role models to these students. They're supposed to tell them, to help, to encourage them to try new things and try all these awesome things. But anyway, other ways are like when your friends tell you you can't do something, or you try something new and you fail at it a few times and your friends discourage you or your loved ones or whatever. But anyway, now the whole point I wanted to talk about knowing who you are is this comes in the sense that when someone tells you you can't do something, or people who fall victim of something like this, and fall victim I mean people who actually believe this, are people who usually don't know who they are. And by knowing who you are, I obviously mean that knowing who you are as a concept obviously includes or comprises of concepts like knowing your past, because that's as much of who you are. Knowing your strengths, your weaknesses, knowing that when you get hurt or you're emotionally thrown off your balance, you don't have to look outside for things to help you fix what's inside, so to speak. Anyway, why is this important and relevant? Okay, people who succumb to situations where they're told who they are and they actually fall for it are people who don't know who they are, in a sense that if for example someone had a dream of becoming rich and being wealthy, starting their own business, and for example, hypothetically, let's say this person didn't know who they were and who didn't know who they were and but they still wanted to start this business and wanted to get up ahead, and in starting the business they started, but in the process of getting with the business they choose to cut corners and obviously cheat, and in some way shape or form they actually get to the top, they succeed and they make this money. But right at that point where they're on top of their game and they have the big houses and the expensive cars, life might hit them with a surprise, a bad one per se, where they might lose someone they care about so deeply, whether that be a mother or spouse. Now this will obviously knock them off their game, and they will spiral into doing something self-destructive, something like, for example, doing drugs or doing alcohol, something, looking for something outside to numb the feelings inside. And this is what I was saying about someone who knows who they are. They knows where to look for things like this, but someone who doesn't, they will suffer so much, because they will suffer quite a bit before they happy, because they were looking in the wrong places for the right things. They will be looking outside for things to numb their feelings, to numb the hurting feelings that are going on. And I'm sure most of you guys have seen this for some celebrities who have succumbed to this. Now obviously if it was someone who, like I just said, someone who didn't know who they are and who don't know how to deal with this, they will look outside for things to fix what's inside. Well, if it was someone who knew who they are, they would know where to look, they will look inside. And the other thing is, if the time comes and they actually wanted to get back in the game, so if we have a hypothetical situation where when karma, or life hit them with the unexpected surprise and threw them off their balance. They lost everything. Someone who knew their value and worth, rather who knew who they were, will have set a certain bar somewhere where they don't start from zero, regardless of having lost everything. Yes, they lost everything, but they have, knowing their value sets their bar somewhere, certain somewhere, so they're not starting from 0%. It might be about 50%, in my opinion. And if it's someone who actually knows who they are and knows their value, when they get back into the game, and they have more chances of bouncing back and gaining twice as much success as they even had before, because obviously they come back stronger, as opposed to someone who has to start back from zero. They will take obviously more time to bounce back, and the progress won't be as fast as someone who knows who they are. I think that's one of the most important bits about knowing who you are. And the other thing is, this concept also cuts into, or rather also introduces the concept of a concept that I talked about in a past video, which is basically where you're your worst enemy. If someone keeps telling you you're bad at something, or you can't do something, if you choose to believe them, or if you choose to let them or give them the power to destroy your dream, you actually go into your head, and actually your subconscious will start telling you this. Also, you will also start doing this. It will start telling you that you can't do something as well. Or you'll be saying that in your head, that I just can't do it, I'm just not a maths person. For example, if you're still at school, you just keep telling yourself you're not a maths person, I just can't do it. And in the end, you obviously know the results. Person who keeps telling themselves, or who keeps hearing comments like you can't do it, and they believe them, they will start self-sabotaging and end up failing maths. They just won't put in that effort to try and grasp the concept, just because they think they can't do it. Anyway, to bring this video to an end, because I don't want it to be too long, if you guys are, I really inspire you, I really want, not inspire, really, yeah, inspiring would be great, but yeah, I wish you guys could actually go on a self-discovery journey, because I can promise you that that's one of the most fulfilling journeys you'll go on, because it will save you a lot of time for the future. If you go without it, you will regret it. Go on the self-discovery journey and do it now. Discover who you are. It will save you a lot of time and a lot of hurt and pain. Also, don't let people tell you what you can and what you can't do, because yes, let's face it, life is unfair, and it will throw things you're not expecting at you. Yes, we know life is unfair, and it will throw random things at you, terrible surprises, especially the bad ones. But the worst place you can be in is not knowing how to deal with them and how to bounce back from them, because that's where the oftenly assumed great people fall. If you don't know how to deal with the bad times or the bad shit that life throws at you. Anyway, I definitely recommend you guys go on a self-discovery journey, and don't let people tell you what you can't do. Obviously, I'm not saying don't listen to the negative feedback, and don't listen to all the negative things. Just listen for the negative feedback, because that helps you grow. Anyway, that's it for this video. See you guys in the next video.